All right, you want progress? Understand this. Pain is the cost of entry. No shortcuts, no detours. You've got to step into the fire, and when the heat starts to break you down, that's when the real work starts. Pain is the only currency that buys change. And if you're not ready to bleed for it, you're not ready to change. Look, everyone wants progress. They want to be stronger, faster, better. But what they really want is the feeling of progress, not the process itself. That's where most people lose it. They see pain as a wall, but pain's not a wall. It's a furnace. You either go through it and come out sharper, harder, or you stay soft and watch life slip away. When you're in the middle of it, when your body is screaming and your mind is begging you to stop, that's your testing ground. That's when you find out if you're a tourist in your own life, or if you're here to stay, putting in the work that no one else will even consider. You've got to make that choice every single day. Pain will strip you down. It will expose every weakness, every excuse, every lie you've been feeding yourself. But that's what progress demands. It's uncomfortable. It's ugly. It's raw. And if you don't learn to make peace with it, you'll never know what's on the other side. So ask yourself right now, are you willing to pay the price? Because progress doesn't come free. You've got to be willing to take every ounce of pain that stands between you and the person you're trying to become. You see, pain is like gravity. It's always there, always pulling on you, always reminding you of what you have to give if you want to climb higher. The higher you want to go, the heavier that pull gets. And most people, they feel that pressure and they tap out. They settle for good enough, for average, because the price of progress scares the hell out of them. But here's the truth most people run from. Pain is the process. You can't avoid it. You can't wish it away. You can't half-ass it and hope for real change. Every mile you don't want to run, every rep that makes your muscles scream, every early morning that pulls you out of a warm bed, it's all part of the deal. And you better be ready to pay it over and over again, because there's no end to this journey. That pain you feel, it's a compass. It's telling you exactly where you need to go, what you need to face. Most people turn away from it. But if you want to be different, if you want to be the kind of person who truly changes, you've got to be the one who runs toward it. You've got to stare that pain in the face, nod and say, all right, let's do this. Progress isn't about feeling good. It's about dragging yourself into the dirt, breaking down, and rebuilding from scratch, over and over. The pain never stops. It just changes shape. And that's the life you choose when you commit to becoming better than yesterday. There's no finish line. There's no place where it gets easy. So decide right now, are you willing to bleed for this? Are you willing to get torn down and rebuilt 100 times over if that's what it takes? Because if you're not, if you're just in this to look good, to collect applause, to feel comfortable, then you're in the wrong game. This path isn't for everyone. It's brutal. It's unforgiving. And it demands every last piece of who you are. But if you can make peace with that pain, if you can welcome it into your life and let it reshape you, then there's nothing you can't do. Embrace the pain, pay the price, and make that choice to go all in. Because progress doesn't come to the comfortable. It comes to the relentless, the broken, the ones willing to sacrifice everything. Here's the hard truth most people don't want to hear. Real progress is ugly. It's not the highlight reel. It's not some feel-good montage with epic music in the background. It's the sleepless nights, the early mornings, the isolation. It's giving up your comforts, facing your weaknesses, and stepping into the parts of yourself that scare the hell out of you. Every scar, every bruise, every ounce of sweat and pain, that's your ticket to the next level. You've got to become ruthless with yourself. You've got to look in the mirror and tear down every excuse, every comforting lie. You have to face the parts of you that are soft, that are lazy, that want the easy way out. You've got to expose them, confront them, and then kill them off, one by one. Because those parts of you, they're the dead weight keeping you where you are. And if you're not willing to cut them off, you're going to stay stuck. Forever. Most people walk through life half asleep, clinging to comfort, avoiding anything that makes them feel weak. But comfort is a cage. Every time you choose comfort over discomfort, you're adding another bar to that cage, another lock. And before you know it, you're trapped, living a life you didn't choose, held back by chains you made yourself. But there's freedom on the other side of pain. If you can stand up and take the hits, if you can let the pain mold you instead of running from it, you're going to find a strength you didn't know was possible. You're going to realize that all those things you thought you couldn't do, they were just limits you placed on yourself. And once you break those limits, there's nothing in this world that can hold you back. So here's the deal. You want to change? You want to become someone stronger, someone who doesn't quit when things get hard? Then stop looking for shortcuts. Stop wishing for it to get easier. Instead, decide that you're going to be the one who keeps going when everyone else taps out. Decide that you're going to pay the price, no matter how brutal it gets. Because the truth is, the pain will either own you or fuel you. That choice is yours alone. If you choose to let it drive you, to let it shape you, then there's no limit to what you can become. Embrace it, endure it, and rise through it. And one day when you look back at the person you used to be, you're going to realize that all that pain was worth it. Every single drop of it. Because you'll be standing where you once thought was impossible. And it'll all be because you were willing to pay the damn price.